Hello again, this is Madan. In this module, we are going to add a new button to our pet details view, and which will help us to change the selling status of the pet. So let's head over to our code and let's add a new button, and we only show that button if the user is logged in, and if the user is logged in and if the pet is owned by the currently logged in user. So our condition here is basically the same like above. So let's just copy this code from here. Let's copy this whole statement here. Let's paste it here, and let's just change not to equal to. So if the user is signed in and if the ID of the pet matches the ID of the currently logged in user, then we know that the we know that the pet that the user is currently viewing is owned by that user. So if that is the condition, that is the case, then we want to add a button here to toggle the selling status of the pet. So let's write another condition here. So if model dot is selling is true, then we want to give a link to the user and tell them they remove from selling list, and else which means that if the pet is not in the selling list, if the user is not selling the pet, then we want to show them a link to add that pet to the selling list. Add to selling list. Now let's add a class here. Class equal to btn dash danger, and for this let's add another class here. Class equal to btn dash primary, and then once the user click on this button, then we want to send the user to the controller action. So asp action equal to, let's say, toggle selling, and asp controller equal to pet. So we don't have toggle selling method right at the moment, but we'll be creating that shortly. And same here, let's copy this and paste it here, and we will be sending the status, the current status of the pet, or I think we don't need to send anything. So let's just save it and let's head over to the view and let's refresh. So here we got the button to toggle the selling status of the pet. Right at the moment the selling status is not selling, so we have shown the message add to selling list, but when this status changes from not selling to selling, then the text on the button changes as well, and it says that it should show that they removed from the selling list. So let's head over to back to our controller, pet controller, and let's add the method called toggle selling. Controller, pet controller, and let's write another method here. Public action result toggle selling, and just let's say return city redirect to action. And once we toggle the selling status of the pet, we want the user to redirect to the same details view. So let's see what is there in the details view. In details view we need to have the ID of the pet, so let's read name of details, and we also need to pass the ID of the pet there. So let's create a new anonymous object, new, and ID equal to, of course we don't have an ID right at the moment, server back up small ID, camel case ID. And now let's create a new parameter here, int ID. Now actually we need to send the ID from our view, so let's send the ID asp route dash ID equal to model dot ID, and here as well, ASP route dash id equal to model.id. Let's head over back to the controller, and now let's write the logic to change the selling status of the pet, to toggle the status of the pet from selling to not selling and from not selling to selling. So what we need to do is we need to get the pet from our database table first. So let's say variable pet equal to, we have a pet repository dot get single pet, and we are going to pass the id here. And once we get the pet, then what we're gonna do is we are going to change the status pet dot it's selling equal to, we are just going to reverse the status value here, negate the status value not selling. Once we negate the status value, we want to update that underscore pet repository dot, we should have a method edit, and then we are going to pass the pet here. And let's wrap this inside a try catch block if in case we get any error. Try catch exception ex return, let's just return a content for the sake of simplicity. Return content error occurred plus ex dot to string if in case any error occurs. So let's save this, and with this we should be able to toggle the status of our pet. And let's head over back to the browser and let's see if we have successfully implemented the feature or not. Let's click on the button, and we have successfully, our function is working successfully. So when I click on, right at the moment the status is selling, and the text of the button had changed to remove from selling list. When I click on this, then this status should change, and the user is not selling the pet. So let's click on add to selling list, and when we go back to our home view, then we see that this pet is on the selling list right at the moment. And when we click on this and remove from this and go back, and the pet is not selling, but the rabbit one is owned by the currently logged in user and the dog is not owned by the currently logged in user. So when the user click on this pet, then the user should not show that button to change the status of the pet. So let's click on this, and here we go, no button, so that the user cannot update the status of the pet that they do not own. So this is the end of the demo, and we'll continue improving our project in another video sessions. So thanks for watching and have a good day.